All right, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to share with you my story on how I got into subconscious work and hypnotherapy. My name is Gianna Badot. I'm a subconscious coach and certified hypnotherapist. And if you want to learn more about how you can unlock the power of your subconscious mind utilizing hypnotherapy to eliminate any unconscious limiting beliefs and old programming that is currently blocking you in your business, in your relationships, in literally any area of your life, you can check out the link in the notes below and learn more about how you can work with me one-on-one utilizing the power of hypnotherapy. And you can also grab access to the Rewired audio sessions. There's over 30 subconscious activations and self-hypnosis audio recordings to help you stress less and achieve more of everything you desire every single day. All right, let's dive into this wild story. So I've been an entrepreneur since I was 18 years old. So I have been doing this for a very, very long time. I started my very first business as a personal trainer and health coach. And naturally, as the years went on, my work as a coach evolved and transformed. I got into yoga, meditation, and healing. And the work I was doing as a wellness coach really evolved as I was evolving. And I got to this space about 8 years ago where I was growing my business and doing so well as a wellness coach and healer that I had other coaches reaching out to me and asking me, how can I grow my business? And so then I really started to take seriously, wow, like I can really scale this thing. I have this crazy potential. I have all of these certifications. I have all this expertise. I have years and years of experience working inside of coaching businesses, running my own coaching business. Again, certifications on certifications in holistic health, healing, yoga, meditation. So I knew I had the expertise to support my clients. But then again, coaches started reaching out. They're like, can you help me? So I'm like, okay, I can really scale this. Okay, I can really transform my business into something even bigger, supporting other entrepreneurs. Now, I absolutely love working entrepreneurs simply because I've been an entrepreneur for as long as I can remember. So I have a really beautiful space in my heart for entrepreneurs. That is why I work with primarily entrepreneurs. That's why I really, really enjoy working with entrepreneurs because I resonate deeply with being an entrepreneur. And I've been in literally every phase of entrepreneurship. So I have this unique ability to be able to support entrepreneurs in ways that a lot of other coaches can't because I have not been an entrepreneur for as long as many of the coaches out there say they have. Okay. So I've been through it all as an entrepreneur. So when the opportunity came for me to start supporting entrepreneurs, it literally fell into my lap. I was like, okay, let's do this. So I start growing the business. We're scaling it. I started investing in coaches. I'm doing all this work and it's going really, really well. Okay. It's going extremely well. And then I got to this point where I couldn't break past a certain revenue level in the business. And I spent a really long time stuck at the same revenue level to the point where it was starting to really get to me because, again, like I know I have the talent, I know I have the expertise. I was really confident in the transformation that I could get my clients because they were seeing crazy results. But for me personally, I was stuck at this revenue level. I wasn't growing anymore at a certain point. So I started hiring coaches. I invested thousands and thousands of dollars in the strategy side of my business. And it still wasn't growing. So at that point, I realized that there had to have been something under the surface of me that was blocking me. And at this point, I don't know anything about the subconscious mind. I just have this feeling that there's something I'm doing from a mindset perspective that is blocking me. I have years and years of experience in mindset, traveled all over the world studying mindfulness, meditation, Buddhist psychology. I went to India, Cambodia, Tibet. I've traveled all over the world studying the power of the mind. But I had yet to understand the power of the subconscious mind and how it was affecting me in my day-to-day life, specifically in my ability to grow and scale my business. So there's this ad that popped up on my Facebook newsfeed about it was advertised as brain hacking. And I was like, okay, what's this brain hacking thing? And the marketing spoke to me very deeply because it spoke specifically to the things I was struggling with as an entrepreneur. Couldn't get past a certain level of revenue. Know you have the talent and expertise. You're doing everything right. You're working hard, but yet you're still not growing. So I'm like, yep, that's me. Right. So I end up finding out that this brain hacking is hypnotherapy. And at the time, I had already invested so much money in so many other strategies from a business marketing and sales perspective that when I found out it was hypnotherapy, I was kind of like, it's kind of woo-woo, it's kind of weird, it's kind of out there. And I was a little bit hesitant, but because I was so desperate to figure out what was blocking me, I didn't care. I said, you know what? I've already tried everything else and it's not working. So, hey, why not try hypnotherapy, right? What do I actually have to lose? And honestly, a lot of people come to hypnotherapy at that state where they've done everything else. And it's kind of like this last resort place. They're like, well, I've done everything else. Might as well hypnotize myself, right? So I end up committing to 12 weeks of working with a hypnotherapist one-on-one, specifically on my money mindset. And I met with the hypnotherapist every single week for 12 weeks. So 3 months of high intensive subconscious work. And what happened at the end of these 3 months was something I could have never predicted. To be quite honest with you, I didn't really have high hopes of what was going to come out of it because the mindset place I was in at the time was kind of like nothing is working. I invested a lot of money in it. And of course, I hoped it would work, but I wasn't like, set sure that this was going to work for me. Something in me just told me to do it, to try it. So I followed my intuition. And that's something I always do. I follow my intuition. I don't listen to logic. I listen to my intuition because I believe that your intuition is actually the best guide that you can possibly have in your life, in your business, in everything that you do. So I follow my intuition. I invest in working with a hypnotherapist. And at the end of those 12 weeks, what happened totally blew my mind. Not only did I evolve and grow in every area of my life, but I started making more money than I could have ever imagined possible. And I didn't change anything from a strategy side of my business. And the reason why this is because over the course of those 12 weeks, I was uprooting and up leveling so many memories in my subconscious mind, so many negative stories and programs from my childhood, limiting beliefs from my childhood, stories that were told to me from the adult figures in my life growing up that were driving me and limiting my potential when it came to my revenue. So I had no idea that these tapes, these stories, these limiting beliefs were playing out in my business, right? I just thought I'm stuck. I just thought there's something going on. And then I do hypnotherapy and I'm being brought back to all of these memories from my childhood where I learned that it wasn't safe to have money, where I learned that there could be a lot of money around me in my life, but it could never really be all mine, right? So I really struggled with the ability to call in more money for that reason. And I could get into details around what these specific memories were, but I think that's a podcast for another day. The point of this is that the reason why you're likely stuck is because you have unhealed wounds from your childhood that are packed away in your subconscious that are currently playing out in your life and in your business today, that are holding you back and keeping you stuck and keeping you playing small in your business and in your life. And so when I started to come home to these memories and these points in my life, I was able to heal those parts of me. I was able to rewire those stories, those tapes with new programming that actually reflected the version of myself that I wanted to be as an entrepreneur, the version of myself that I wanted to be in life. Right? I don't want to be someone who has limitations. I didn't want to be someone who believed that I could be around a lot of money, but it could never really be mine. I didn't want to believe that money was hard to come by, that it could never be mine. I did not want to have that belief system anymore. I grew up with a lot of money around me in my life because my father was very wealthy, but my parents were divorced. So I didn't always get to enjoy all of that wealth. And because of that, there was a lot of misaligned beliefs around money that I had to really battle and work through. There were endless memories and stories about money that I had to rewire and work through in hypnotherapy. As you can imagine, I did this for 12 weeks, every single week. So there was 12 weeks of memories and money mindset programming that I did very deeply in my subconscious mind. And because of that, I ended up having one of my highest revenue months in business, more revenue than I ever imagined, more revenue than I actually even had a goal for. Okay. And it was totally mind blowing. It was like absolutely mind blowing. And the reason why And because it blew my mind so much, and because my results were so drastic and rapid, I came to this realization that this is actually the work that I want to be doing with people. This is the work my clients need. This is why they're stuck. It's not all strategy. It's not all just like surface level mindset work. This is deep subconscious work that you need to be doing on yourself. And if you're not doing subconscious work, you're kind of running in the same circle. You're running on a hamster wheel. You're doing all these surface level things to try to make things better, but you're not actually getting to the root of why things are the way they are, is why you are the way you are. And if you don't get to the subconscious root as to like why you are the way you are and why things are the way they are, then you will never actually see change in your life or in your business. You have to heal and rewire these wounds at the subconscious level of your mind. And when you do this, big shifts happen, big transformation happens. And not only did my money shift and grow and evolve, but every other area of my life did as well. I ended up continuing doing hypnotherapy on many other aspects and areas in my life. I still do it to this day. It is the most powerful tool that I've ever come in contact with. And again, I have traveled all over the world studying the power of the mind. I've studied with Buddhist monks in the Himalayan mountains. I have studied meditation. I am a yoga master. I have done many, many yoga trainings. There is no training that I did before this that actually brought me to this level in my mind than hypnotherapy did. So I decided to get certified in hypnotherapy and start doing this work with my clients. And it was definitely a crazy pivot for me at the time, but it felt right. It felt like everything I had done in my life in terms of my business had prepared me to get to this point where I was ready to actually support people on this deep, deep level, working with the subconscious. That's how I started doing this work and how I started working with clients as a hypnotherapist. And the rest is really history. It's been like 8 years now that I've been doing this, and it's the most transformational work that I've ever done in my life, and it's the most fulfilling work that I've ever done in my life because of the level of change that I'm able to help clients facilitate. This is years and years of programming that we can rewire and release in literally 60 minutes sometimes. It's rapid transformation, which is what makes it so, so powerful and effective. And so if you want to learn more about hypnotherapy and how you can rewire your subconscious mind, clear out any old woundings, any old stories, any old tapes and programs from your childhood that are currently holding you back and keeping you stuck, you can check out the link in the notes below and learn how you can work with me in a more customized, high-touch, high-level way, doing one-on-one hypnotherapy. And you can also grab access to the Rewired audio sessions and start rewiring your mind right now by pressing play on an audio recording. Utilizing the Rewired sessions, you can grab access to the Rewired sessions in the notes below as well. So that's all for today. I will continue to speak more on my story in depth as we go on. But this is really a summary of how I got into this work. It was my own transformation. It was my own experience as an entrepreneur, feeling so stuck, feeling so hopeless in the situation, and then finding this weird thing called hypnotherapy that I really felt resistant to trying. I'm not going to lie, and I'm super woo. I'm spiritual, and to me, it still felt a little bit like out there, but I did it anyways because I trusted my gut. So if in your gut you feel like this is something that you're called to, I highly recommend checking out the resources in the notes below. There's so much for you to dive into. And make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode along this incredible journey. And I'll see you next time.